So I've always been really passionate about entrepreneurship. When I was at university, that was my favorite course that we did. We thought about how to build a business from scratch, and I thought it was really exciting. And ever since I've been an entrepreneur, I feel like it's the greatest journey of self-discovery. But there are loads of challenges that come along the way. So people only talk to you about the opportunity and the news headlines that you're going to get, but they don't talk to you about the challenges. And I feel like I would have loved at my stage in my first couple of years if I had expert input, guidance, people telling me what to watch out for, challenging my thinking. And I don't think I really got that because there didn't seem to be a space where I could get the type of input I was looking for. And I think it's always easy to solve a problem you've had yourself. So when I went through that journey, I realized that I wanted to plug that gap for other entrepreneurs in the early stages of their career, because it gets me really frustrated when I know that the only people who can afford business coaching are the ones who have already made it to a particular level, and that just seems like a very stupid system. So I got into business coaching to try and break that. So I think there are a couple of ways to think about this. One of the ways is to think about it as, in your business, what are things you need help with? And that tends to be 5 areas. Strategy, so you have clarity; sales, delighting your customers, building your team, and of course challenging your thinking as well and making sure you're heading in the right direction. But I think there's an entire other section, which is you as an entrepreneur. Are you growing? Are you evolving as an entrepreneur? Are you constantly challenging your capacity? I recently restarted my fitness journey, and so I keep borrowing analogies from there. And my fitness trainer always tells me you've got to constantly break a few muscles so that they can grow stronger. And that's one of the roles a business coach plays for an entrepreneur. Helps you sort of break those muscles, discover muscles you didn't have in the first place, helps you keep going so that you can pick up heavier and heavier weights. Yes, so there is 100,000% a difference between a mentor and a business coach, and I think it's a tragedy that not enough people understand this. A mentor is someone who's been in your space and is probably 4 or 5 steps ahead of you, 5, 10 years ahead of you, and you sort of know where you want to go and they guide you around that path. So they take you down the path they have been and they make sure you don't make any wrong decisions or take wrong turns. And that, of course, is very valuable. But what a business coach does is they come in and give you a very different outsider's perspective on your business. Their role is to listen to you, understand what you are not saying, challenge you with questions that really make you think and find your own path. And I think that's a really key difference. A mentor tells you what to do. A business coach asks you questions so that you can find that path yourself. And sometimes that's far more empowering. It sounds like a love marriage versus arranged marriage question. So I won't talk about that, but I'll talk about it from this perspective. I think I have a very extreme stance on this. My thought is, if there are 3 things that come together, which is you love doing it, you're good at it, and you think it's valuable to the world, then you shouldn't disregard what you are aiming to do just because you haven't figured out how to make money from it yet. The easiest piece to figure out of those 3 is how to build a business around it, how to make money around it. So what I always encourage entrepreneurs to do is find what they love, what they're good at, what they care deeply about, what is valuable to the world. And then that's where people like me or Jigsaw come in, right? The whole point of us is to help you build a business around the things that you love, are good at, and you care about. So yeah, I know there is obviously like a business opportunity, and there's always opportunity to make some money quickly in a particular market. But to me, business is and entrepreneurship is a marathon, not a sprint. So just because you make a bunch of money in 2 years, I don't think it's worth doing that, because if you commit to your entrepreneurial journey, commit to your business, then it's a 5, 10, 15, 20-year journey. And we shouldn't be thinking as short term as 1 or 2 years. So I think Jigsaw is designed for early stage entrepreneurs and self-starters. We are not here to help you build the next tech billion-dollar business. That is not what we're here for. If that's what you're looking for, there are a bunch of accelerators out there that would be far more preferable than us. But if you are someone who is a self-starter, who is within the first 2 or 3 years of your business, or even if it's not in years, if you feel like you don't have the business experience to take things to the next level, then that's really where Jigsaw comes in. We are here for you at the early stage of your business to make sure you have your foundations in place, your systems in place, so that business is not completely chaotic and filled with madness all of the time, and you can bring some clarity, some structure, some strategy to your entire journey. I guess one of the selfish answers is me 3-4 years ago. I love working with people like that because I feel like I was ambitious about what I wanted to do. I was committed to what I wanted to do. I'm a lifelong learner, and most people call me a nerd. I call myself a lifelong learner to make me feel better. I believe in community. I love community. And I think for any self-starter who is within the first 3-4 years of their business or their entrepreneurial journey, who fulfill these criteria, lifelong learner, beliefs in community, I love working with all of them because I get to see results. So I think it was about 3-4 years ago when a bunch of things sort of came together. So it wasn't this one eureka moment of, okay, I'm going to become a business coach. I think there were maybe 3 big things that I sort of realized came together. Number one was when I was at university, I of course went to business school and studied a lot about the fundamentals of business. I was like most business school graduates. I came out arrogant and thinking I know absolutely everything about business, and obviously I didn't. I knew the theory and the fundamentals, but I didn't really know it in practice. The second thing I did is I sold my soul at the time, and I went to Accenture to consult in London. I had dreams that I was going to be an entrepreneur straight out of university. Then they waved this really nice check in my face and I decided to take it. But that was great learning for me because at Accenture, I really learned the value of structure, of organization, which I see a lot of entrepreneurs just don't have. They've got that passion, that enthusiasm, but it's not channeled in the right way. And I think at Accenture, I learned a lot of that. And the third thing that I think sort of came together is I quit Accenture after they promoted me because I was like, I don't want to be here anymore. So it was a signal that I should leave. I came back to India and I started a social enterprise called I for India, where it was run on the concept of design thinking. And I taught kids how to apply design thinking to NGO challenges. And so the kids learned about problem solving. I felt good and made some pocket money, and the NGOs had a challenge solved. And then what happened is I literally sitting at a co-working space, there was someone who just came over and said, hey, I've heard you help people with social enterprise, etc. I have a business, but I think this way of thinking might be able to help me as well. So it was a little bit of an accident. And so with that one person, what I ended up doing is I took the fundamentals of business from business school. I took my structure and organization from Accenture, and I took my creativity from my social enterprise. And I started putting those things together to help them with their business. And when they got certain results, I was sort of hooked at that point in time to that feeling, to seeing how well they actually did, what I could contribute. And I decided to just deep dive into that and just leave everything else by the wayside. Yeah, that's a great question. And I struggled for a long time trying to come up with the name. Like with most things in life, the idea eventually came when I was on a night out drinking with my friends because we were discussing the name and what I was doing. And essentially what we started doing is we started building analogies of what entrepreneurship is like and what my role for entrepreneurs is. And the analogy that stuck was that building an entrepreneurial journey is like putting a puzzle together, but it's not just a 2D puzzle, it's a 3D jigsaw because it's got loads of variables that are involved. So we started realizing it's like putting a jigsaw together, so the name Jigsaw started to come in. And then my friends kept asking me, what do you help them with? And eventually the answer in its simplest form came down to, I think I help entrepreneurs think better. And so we realized that we help people build their entrepreneurial journeys like jigsaws, and we help them think. And then eventually we just meshed the two together, and that's where jigsaw thinking came from.